probably because I don't want to return to applying some camouflage paint. I have decided to do an evaluation of some of my pilot figures. The reason being is one of my big projects for next year, yes, next year, is going to be a 1/32nd scale British airplane, World War II vintage, for which I'm going to need some British pilot crew members, since those figures don't come with the kit. Now, if I were king of the world and in charge of the worldwide static model hobby industry producers, I would mandate that pilot figures, for that matter, drivers, crew members, whatever, are an absolute requirement regardless of scale for any military model. But that's a long ways from happening. So I took a look over on my display case to see what did I have that I'd actually completed over the last couple of years in the way of British pilots before I just went blindly ordering stuff. Yeah, I know. Usually I would just be doing the latter, not the former. And I want to actually take a closer look at each of these, so I'm going to zoom in here. The main reason being so that I can bear the shudder maybe of putting them on the big screen to seeing to what extent they're going to need retouching or repainting. And I'll refrain from commenting. All I can say is I've painted all of these three figures so long ago, I don't remember which companies they came from, whether they were resin or plastic, although I could probably figure that out in a second by giving a little scrape to any of them. Okay, so there's that fellow. Obviously, he's configured to stand outside the aircraft, but we could perform, or I could perform surgery on him. I want to get that up nice and close, checking out the face. Okay, we got this fella. He'd clearly need a bit more work from what I can see already, but is in the right pose to go inside the airplane. And oh my goodness, this is a little scary. He looks good small. Yeah, if I actually am going to use the figure with that head, that's going to need a repaint. I can do better than that. And clearly I attached that right arm with the V signal incorrectly. I'm sure that's supposed to be pointing outside the cockpit. That can't be right, which I didn't pick up at the time. Okay. Or I could just do a head swap and then do an arm reattachment. This is the crudest of the sculpts anyway, so probably do a head swap of some sort, but then I can make use of the body, reposition the arm. One more look at this one up close. See what needs to be adjusted. Scoop out those goggles and redo them, the lenses. He's a little pale. That's easy enough to remedy. And I see I've got a seam line that needs to be sanded out right there. The sort of thing I don't catch when I'm painting, or didn't back in those days. Okay, that'll do for the time being. I've got something to work with, and I've got other heads. So I actually don't need to order any new figures, but we'll be doing some touch-up on at least a couple of these come next year or sooner.